Welcome to Akesha's Foreign Exchange Made Easy class. Today is 9th session. Last day I have discussed future contract long and short. Today it will be continued. You see two diagrams, one for payoff of long future contract and payoff of short future contract. Let us take the spot future price is rupees 70 per dollar. Now, if the future price on expiry date increase to 71, then the hedger or trader will benefited by rupees 1 per dollar, and if it is 72, then he gained rupees 2 per dollar, and if it comes down to 69, there will be loss of rupees 1 per dollar, and if it is 68, then the loss incurred rupees 2 per dollar in the long future contract, because he will buy at the contracted price rupees 70 per dollar, and he will sell in the market at 71. So he will his gain will be rupees 1 per dollar. And in the same time, payoff of short future contract, the spot future price is 70. If it is decreased to 69, then the trader will gain rupees 1 per dollar, and if it is 68, then he will gain rupees 2 per dollar, and if it is increased to 71, then it will be rupees 1 per dollar gain and a loss, and if it is 72, the loss will be rupees 2 per dollar. This is shown in the diagram. The long position of future is very common to importer who are liable to pay the foreign currency for their activity of import of goods and services, just to reduce foreign exchange risks, since the importer is involved in real exposure in foreign exchange in their business. During the period between the signing the contract and the settlement day, if the exchange rate appreciates, then the importer will suffer a huge loss, which will be mitigated by taking long position of future contract. This process of mitigation is called hedging. The future profit is settled in cash. The short position is very common to the exporter, who will receive dollar for the export business from the importer, will suffer losses if the exchange rate on the settlement day depreciate from the rate of signing the contract. The loss will be mitigated or reduced if the exporter takes the short position of future contract, where the exporter buys the currency at matured future price and sell it at the contracted future price. Thus, the exporter will make a cash profit. This is the process of hedging. Now come on problem. The exporter expecting $4 lakhs after 3 months. The company decide to go for future contract to hedge against the risks. The standard size for future contract available in the market is $1,000, that is one lot. As on date spot and future contract rate are rupees 44 and rupees 45 respectively. Suppose after 3 months, that is on maturity, future are quoting rupees 44.70 and spot rate at rupees 44.50. Calculate how the company will be benefited from the future contract. Here you see, in both cases the exporter will be benefited. Like the spot rate here is rupees 44 and on mature date the spot rate is 44.50. So there is a increase of rupees 0.50 per dollar. So here he will gain 0.50 per dollar. And in future, in the case of future, the spot future rate is 45 and it comes down to 44.70 on the mature date or expiry date. So here he will gain 0.30 per dollar. Procedure of computation of receipt of exporter in future contract short position. There are two transactions. One is realization from spot price on maturity and other from future price to convert dollar to domestic currency. The process is total dollar received by exporter multiplied by spot rate, that is bid price, on expiry date. Since the unit will sell dollar to the bank and bank will buy dollar. Next, find the lot number, that is here it will be 4 lakh dollar divided by $1,000 is equal to 400. This lot number is applicable to find the gain or loss in future contract and computation of margin money. If the receipt is $4,832, then the lot number will be 400 and balance $832 will not be allowed for computation of gain or loss in future contract. That means only integer portion is allowed for computation of gain or loss in future contract, not fraction. This is the main drawback between forward contract and in comparison to forward contract. In forward contract, any quantity is allowed, but here only the integer portion is allowed to find out the gain for computation of gain or loss in future contract. Now, gain from future contract is equal to future price at the time of contract, that is spot future price, minus future price after 3 months, that is expiry future price. If it is positive, it is very important. If it is positive, then the exporter will gain since he will buy at lower price and sell the currency at higher price since is a contract. See, the future price at the time of contract is higher than future price on expiry date, then he will gain because he will buy the currency from market at lower rate than the spot future rate. And in reverse, it will be loss as because he will buy at higher price and sell at lower price. Always remember, the future contract is settled in cash transaction and lot number is applied in future contract at the time of computation of gain or loss. Inflow from spot price on expiry date is equal to $4 lakh multiplied with 44.50, that is the spot price on expiry date, is equal to 178 lakhs, rupees 178 lakhs. This amount is received by the exporter from bank. In the problem, the gain from future contract is 45, that is the spot future price minus 44.70, that is expiry future price, multiplied with 400, that is number of lot, multiplied with 1000, that is lot size, is equal to 0.3 into 4 lakh is equal to 1.20 lakhs. Exporter receive money from counterparty. Total receipt is equal to 170 lakhs plus 1.20 lakhs is equal to 179 lakhs, 179.20 lakhs. If it is loss, then the total receipt will be 178 lakhs minus 1.20 lakhs. That will be deducted. Effective rate is equal to 179.20 lakhs divided by 4 lakhs is equal to 44.80 per dollar. Here the spot rate was 44 and here the rate is 0.80, so the exporter gained 0.80 per dollar, that is equal to on 4 lakhs, that will be 3 lakh rupees, 3,20,000. The exporter will buy from the market at rupees 44.70 and will sell at contract price 45, thus he will gain rupees 0.30 per dollar. Next problem, the importer, instead of exporter, here it is importer and rest are same. The importer is liable to pay $4 lakh after 3 months. The company decided to go for future contract to hedge against the risks. The standard size for future contract available in the market is $1,000. As on date, spot and future contract rate are of rupees 44 and rupees 45 respectively. Suppose after 3 months on maturity, future price are quoting at rupees 44.70 and spot rate is at rupees 44.50. Calculate how the company benefited from the future contract. Here you see the spot rate is 44 and the spot rate on expiry date 44.50, that is increased by 0.50. Here the importer suffer loss of rupees 0.50 per dollar, and in the case of future contract, the spot future price is 45 and the expiry date future price is 44.70. Here the importer suffered a loss of 0.30 per dollar. The total payment of importer to bank to purchase the dollar is equal to dollar to be paid into spot rate, that is offer price on the expiry date, and plus minus future contract loss or gain, which is a cash transaction with counterparty. Payment for dollar purchase. $4 lakh multiplied with 44.40, that is expiry spot rate, is equal to 178 lakhs. Lot number is 4 lakh divided by 1000 is equal to 400. In this problem, the loss from future contract is 400 number of lots into 1000 lot size 45, that is 45 is expiry date spot future rate minus 44.70 expiry future rate is equal to rupees 1.20 lakhs. Total payment will be 178 lakhs plus 1.20 lakhs is equal to rupees 179.20 lakhs. Effective rate 179.20 lakhs divided by 4 lakhs is equal to rupees 44.80. Similarly, the importer suffers a loss of 0.80 per dollar, that is 3,20,000. Note, in long situation, if the future price after 3 months, that is on expiry date, is higher than the future price at the time of contract, that is spot future price, then the importer will gain, since he will buy at the price of the contract, that is at spot future price, and sell it at price on expiry date in the market, thus gain. Here, if the future price after 3 months is rupees 45.50, then the gain will be, because the expiry future rate is 45, which is higher than spot future rate, which is 45. The gain will be 400 multiplied with 1000, that is lot number and lot size, multiplied with 45.50 is the expiry future rate, minus 45 spot future rate is equal to rupees 2 lakhs. Total payment will be 178 lakhs minus 2 lakhs is equal to 176 lakhs. Derivative market participant: Hedger, Speculator, Arbitrator. Now come Hedger. The objective of Hedger is to reduce foreign exchange risks for those who are involved in real exposure in foreign exchange on account of underlying business such as export or import of goods and services, foreign investment, foreign expenditure on account of studies, travel, etc. In currency derivative, they make an agreement on long future contract where party is in a position to pay the liability. When the party is in a position to pay the liability in foreign currency, then they will take the option long future contract, or they make an agreement on short future contract where the party is in a position to receive foreign currency from abroad. Hedger enter into derivative market to mitigate the risks of adverse price fluctuation in comparison to existing position. Hedger have an underlying exposure in the currency or commodity and use derivative market to insure themselves against adverse price fluctuation. This is applicable to every underlying asset, that is equity, currency, commodity, etc. When an importer anticipates that the market moves upward, that is the price will be increased in spot market in future due to various factors, he will purchase a future contract just to insure against higher prices in the spot market on the specified future date. See, if the importer anticipates that market moves downward, then he will be indifferent in making the long future contract because he is sure that he will make a profit when the future price decreases. In the case of exporter, if the entity anticipates that the price will decrease In the spot market, the unit will sell a future contract just to insure against the lower prices in the spot market on the specified future date. Here also that will be applicable if the exporter anticipate that the market move upwards, then he will be indifferent in making the future contract. There are two types of hedge: long hedge and short hedge. Difference between long hedge and short hedge. Long hedge. In the case of long hedge, the hedger does not own the underlying asset, that is currency, equity and commodities, etc., but he needs to acquire it in the future. He will buy the underlying assets in future and going long in future contract. The loss incurred in buying the security at higher spot price on maturity will be reduced to a large extent by the cash profit earned by the long future activity. Now comes short hedge. In the case of short hedge, the hedger is owner of the underlying asset, that is currency, equity and commodity, but he needs to sell it in the future. He will sell the underlying asset in future and going short in future contract. The loss suffered in selling the security at lower price on maturity will be reduced to a larger extent by the cash profit earned by short future activity. Application of long hedge and short hedge. Number one is importer. This is a case of long hedge. The hedger needs to buy dollar in future and importer may suffer huge loss in buying dollar if the exchange rate appreciate on the settlement date than the spot rate on signing the contract. And to mitigate the loss, he will exercise long future contract and reduce the loss by earning cash profit from long future activity. Exporter. This is a case of short hedge. When the exporter receives dollar from the importer, he may suffer loss in converting it to the local currency. If the exchange rate depreciates on the settlement day than the spot rate of signing the contract, and to mitigate the loss, he will make short future contract and thus reduce the loss by earning cash profit from short future activity. Now come commodity future. First is manufacturer. Manufacturer buys raw material at spot or on future date, and in the latter case, if the price is reduced, they will gain, otherwise they will lose if the price increases. Hence the manufacturer will take long future contract to reduce the losses if the spot price on maturity increases. Next come farmer. When the farmers sell crops in the future market, they need protection against the declining prices of crops by exercising short future contract. Exporter. When an exporter gets order to export a commodity, say sugar, to be delivered after 3 months, he has to purchase sugar from the manufacturer or trader in domestic market after 3 months needs protection against price hike in future by undergoing long future contract. Here in domestic market, he exercised the long future contract, where in currency market, he exercised the short future contract. Importer. The importer will make an arrangement to sell the imported items to the trader or manufacturer in domestic market on a specified date when he will receive the items from the exporter of other country. He needs protection against the price drop on that date by exercising short future contract. Speculator or trader. The speculator assumes foreign exchange risks without having a real exposure in foreign exchange activity, based on the view of market direction and hope to make a return by taking price risks. Speculators play vital role in the future market. Speculators or traders assume the price risks that the hedger attempts to lay off in the market. Without actively participation of speculator, the hedger cannot be successful in fulfilling their object, that is reducing the financial risks in future contract. Future speculation is a trade practice to make quick profits from fluctuation in prices. It includes buying, selling, short selling of securities, commodities or any financial assets. They never utilize the asset for physical uses, as their object is to get quick return from change in prices. There are two types of speculators. One is long speculator and other is short speculator. Long speculator are those who buy a future contract and expect the price to increase from current level. If the price of the future contract increases before the expiry or on expiry date of the contract, then the trader makes a profit by squaring off the position, that is buying at contract price and selling at market price. And if the price of the future contract decreases, then the trader will incur a loss. Short speculators are those who sell future contract and expect the price to decrease from current level. If the price of the future contract decreases before the expiry or on expiry date of the contract, then the trader makes a profit by squaring off the position, that is buying at the market price and selling at contract price. And if the price of the future contract increases, the trader will incur a loss. In other words, hedgers often depend on speculators to take the other side of trades, that is act as counterparties and to add depth to the market, and they add liquidity to the market that are vital for functioning of a future market. Important, a market participants may buy or sell currency in the future market, and this transaction may be linked to an underlying trade transaction, that is export, import or any kind of actual foreign exchange exposure, or it may not be linked to any trade transaction. When it is linked, the computation of payoff of the combined transaction, that is future gain or loss plus underlying trade transaction, will be a summation of payoff of future contract and of the underlying transaction. For the stand-alone future transaction, the payoff would be the payoff from future contract alone. The former is hedging and the latter is speculation or trading. Here I stop the class now. Next day I will discuss arbitrage and solve the problems of future contracts. Thank you.